Hey everybody, welcome to the podcast. I'm Nick.
Corey.
Drake.
Shannon.
And we've been talking about video games for a little bit, so let's get back on that conversation.
Battlefield 1. Beta, of course.
Yes.
Fantastic. I think we're the only ones who've played it.
Have you not played it yet either?
I haven't played it yet either.
Okay, I haven't played it either.
Favorite things, real quick.
He's a faggot and playing on PC. What are you playing on?
PlayStation 4.
Okay, so I'm assuming you're going to play
I'll get it on
PS4.
PS4, yeah.
Okay, so I'll probably go ahead and get it on PS4
Okay.
only because
Yeah.
my computer's right
Yeah.
now, so...
Yeah, I'm the faggot because I'm the only one with a working computer, definitely.
Well, yeah.
Well, mine works, mine just isn't.
Working
quite
computer
the-
equals takes wiener in the mouth. I don't understand how your math doesn't add up there.
Hold on, you want me to go full PC master race? 200 frames a second, 1080. Well, I could do 4K, but 1080p.
60 FPS?
200.
No, yeah, he's
200
hit
FPS.
200 frames per second.
Everything on ultra.
Yeah.
Anti-aliasing.
And liquid cooling broke.
You don't need liquid cooling.
But as of this point, I don't have.
You could have gone somewhere and bought it by now.
I just bought a new power supply, and Adrian was like, "You can wait a few days."
Okay.
So I'm waiting a
Do
few.
you
days.
want me to buy you a $20 cooler? Yeah, okay. That's what I thought.
I mean, if you want.
That's what I thought.
Wait, why does he need a cooler?
So I need. So I don't
I
have.
thought you needed something for your computer.
I do need something for my
I'm
computer.
just completely
Oh, okay.
kidding.
What do you mean? Is there beer?
Is there something in the cooler that we need?
Yes.
More beer.
No. You're having fun with that. Did
I
you-
love it.
I think you just bought it today.
No. I've had this since before, or no, right after Dominican Republic.
Oh,
Nice.
okay.
I was
I was gonna say because you've been playing with it. So, I know, but
It is
like,
very nice.
Zippo.
but I mean, like, this is the first time I've seen you like
if
play
this,
with it.
If
Play
this
with
were
it.
X-Men, I'd be like, thank you.
Yay. Sound effects for you. That's what I'm here
Really
for.
cool sound effects.
Yeah. That's what I'm
Anyway,
here for.
Battlefield 1.
Yeah.
Yes.
What are your favorite things? What do you like?
Favorite thing is how beautiful the game
Yeah.
is. We were talking earlier, definitely the best looking first person shooter on console.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. There's no contest.
When,
I believe
so,
it.
Skylar and I were playing, once again, PC, because it's the best. We were playing, and in the middle of Sinai Desert, which is the only level you can play in the beta, there's a sandstorm that
Wait,
can
it's
roll
called
through.
Cyanide Desert.
Yeah, not Sinai.
Not cyanide, like...
Cyanide. S-I-N-A-I.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cyan... Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
cyanide.
I was thinking cyanide, like
No,
you
not
know,
like
the
the
capsules
papers
that
too,
you
Not
yeah.
like the capsules you had
Yeah.
in your teeth
Teeth.
or stuff when you're
right,
captured.
yeah,
Not that.
yeah.
Not what Hitler took. No, it's partway through the map. It's random, but a sandstorm can blow through 'cause it's all based out of the
yeah.
desert. And we were running, and there was a car on fire. And when it's normally on fire, it's normal. Right? First off, it looks gorgeous, like Battlefront. It's the fire effects were amazing. But as we were running by this car, the sandstorm started to kick up, and the actual fire started to blow.
That's
Like,
neat.
so the smoke was actually creating a screen, like a cover for people, just because that car blew up in that spot.
Nice.
That's actually pretty cool.
It was neat.
Just in general with the sandstorm, it turns the game from where everybody's sniping to where it's like
You
I can
have
only
to be
see from
close.
like me to your window.
Yeah.
So like everything
Airplanes
is like,
are practically it's cool and scary. So like if you're in a bomber, you know, you have your HUD, you can see where everything is, which even in hardcore you can see where the flags are. But even as a bomber, so you don't know they're coming at that point. So because everyone likes to congregate on C because it's kind of the middle of this town.
Mm-hmm.
So literally as a bomber, like you're taking C, you're thinking everything's okay, and all of a sudden you just hear and it's like fucking run, boom, 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 boom. Everything just starts blowing up around you, and it's cinematic. It's gorgeous.
the planes are really cool. I'm not much of a flyer, but
I am.
I'm not much of a flyer. I'm the type of idiot who like I suck at first-person shooters usually. So when I play Battlefield, I usually pick engineer class and then jump as his co-pilot, and I just spam heal the plane while he just
I'm really good at
murders
that.
everything, and then
I'm
I do
like the
really well
helicopter.
because I get assists on everything.
Which this is one of the first Battlefields I've played where the plane has more than one seat. So you actually have a tail gunner, even in a regular attack plane that has two. So I could be flying and I could be shooting like tanks and stuff, and you could be behind me if an airplane's following me just on a gun.
The MG is really good for
That's
taking out
nice.
other helicopters or other
The
airplanes. Sorry.
bomber, on the other
helicopters.
hand, has two gunners. The one on the front is essentially like the Apache gunner from Battlefield 4 and everything. The rounds are explosive.
Okay.
That gun is OP at the moment because like it's like, oh, a tank, that's adorable. It's dead. And
like-
but like the people, there's a group of people, just boom, 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 they're all gone. You don't even need the bomber for the bombs. You just need it for the front gunner, and you win. But it's super duper slow. That's the worst part.
Remind me, how many people can be on a map at a time?
I believe 64.
64 is
Okay,
on
that's-
Conquest, 32 is on
Okay.
Rush, which
Yeah.
I generally like Rush because I like the whole feel of
I
like they're
l-
trying to push one direction so we know which. Because with Conquest, it's really cool because there's a lot more people going on.
Right.
But the difference is like it's kind of like everywhere just kind of spawns everywhere.
Okay.
Battlefield Bad
Yeah.
Company 2, even into
Great game.
Battlefield 3, Rush was the absolute best play type.
Yes.
100%. Battlefield 4, no maps were good for Rush. What ended up happening is all the defenders just had the perfect encampment, and like one of them, it's the one with the huge satellite dish. If you remember Battlefield 4,
yeah. Oh,
you couldn't play that on Rush because literally, as you spawn, you're in the middle of an open like drive. The enemy's behind hills. All they had to do was head
I
glitch
can't
over the
remember
hills.
the name of
You're
it.
dead. Didn't matter. I think every time I played that one, I almost never took the first MCOM stations. I haven't played Rush on the beta yet, so I'm probably going to do that tonight.
Yeah, I definitely like Rush on this one. As far as the sniping, really, really good. Like the sniping in the game.
Oh yeah, satisfying.
Very, very satisfying, especially when you catch
I will
up.
say that that's one thing
it's all
that's nice.
bolt action.
Yeah.
So far, at least.
Right, but that's one thing I've really liked with the Battlefield games versus Call of Duty is
Way more satisfying.
Bullet.
yeah, because like with Call of Duty, it's like, okay, you're in the middle of the crosshair, boom, got you from across the map. With Battlefield, you actually have to take into account distance and stuff like that, so that it actually, you have to be good at sniping to
Bullet
actually
drops,
Yeah,
snipe.
the bolt. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's the one thing that's weird with this one is they increased the bullet speed.
Uh-huh.
So I actually had to get reused to from Battlefield 4 to this.
Is that why it's different?
It's so weird.
Okay, because I was used to sniping in Battlefield 4. And I
Yeah.
couldn't figure out so the bullets go
Yeah,
faster.
so they go fast, so you don't lead as much. So that's what I was always doing. I was shooting in front of the guy because I always led. I got so used to leading an X amount in front of the guy, and I kept missing and missing. So you have to relearn how to snipe, and the bullet drop is nowhere near as. I mean, it's
Which you would think would be the exact opposite,
Well,
because with
it would, but I think I don't know.
It is and it isn't. So it's more pronounced as like an instant. So like in Battlefield 4, it would like kind of a long arch. This one it goes straight and then just drops.
It's like it plateau. It actually shows you
Yeah.
the bullet drop on the weapons. It's actually cool.
Yeah.
It shows it like where it goes. It shows you where it plateau. Like it'll go and
It'll
plateau,
plateau.
and then it'll fall off.
The plateau, if they're within that perfect plateau, it's an instant kill no matter where you hit them.
That is true. They also
Yeah.
show you the damage of at the distance. So like there's a from me to you.
There's
actually,
a sweet spot.
Yeah, there's actually a sweet spot between like the bullet damage. So like super up close actually isn't necessarily the most damage.
Yeah.
Because it hasn't had as much time for the bullet to travel. Once you get out to like I think it's like 100 meters.
Yeah,
150,
it
something like
varies
that.
on the
There's
weapon.
like 150 to like 300. There's like a max damage thing for it. So it actually shows you on the gun. All the different
It's-
types have different.
It's
kind
a
of
lot like
sweet spots.
in Mech Warrior how you would fire and the damage starts off at 100 and then scales down to 30 or whatever. So
Yeah.
even at farthest distance, you're still doing 30 damage. However, at certain points, and it's like 10 meters. It's not much. It's literally, they call it the sweet spot. It will do 110 damage. So it doesn't matter if you hit them in the head, the chest, the feet, they're dead. So if you just happen to get lucky, maybe you're aiming at this guy and he's running, you don't hit him in the head, you still hit him in the chest, he can still die.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's unique because each gun has a different kind
Yeah.
of.
You
You
just gotta
can
get
actually
used to 'em.
see it. It'll
Yeah.
show you.
Yeah, it has a
gun.
graph, which
Yeah.
is cool. I mean, I think the only thing that's done that was Siege. And
Yeah,
Rip-
kind of. Well, that's kind of like the spray of
spread.
the bullet.
Yeah.
The spread of the bullet. Yeah.
It's fun though. The tanks are strong. I wouldn't say they're OP. Like everyone thinks they're crazy OP.
As when
The
you
horses.
play scout all the time, kind of feels like.
Yeah.
But the one interesting thing to do with the scout class is they actually gave them what's called K bullets.
Yeah.
K bullets are really cool. What they do.
K is in the letter, or like
K as in
KAY?
yes.
Yeah.
Like K is in the letter. They're basically
Oh, okay.
anti like armor rounds.
begins
with Yeah.
K.
Yeah, every kiss to
Except
somebody's face
Yeah.
and
Every
it murders them.
begins with K.
Yeah, literally.
There we go.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
if you're like not too far, a K bolt will one hit a person. Doesn't matter how far they are.
But yeah, because you load it, and what's different between like let's say you're using the Russian 1875, which is a lever action.
Yeah.
That one you're gonna shoot, you're gonna like cock it and then shoot, whatever. But then it only has 5 bullets in it. With the K bullets, it's 1 bullet. You just load into it, and then you shoot it. Then you have to like reload another bullet. So it's not like you can shoot them really fast.
Okay.
But it is helpful
it's
to take down the tanks.
even the same with the bolt action. Most all of them have some sort of clip loading mechanism.
Yeah.
So like if it has 10 rounds, it will do 2 clip like 5 magazines together, and essentially he puts it on there, it fits perfect, and he pushes all 5 bullets down, then grabs another one and pushes it. But if you've shot 3 rounds and you want to reload, he will hand do each one, so it's in sets of 5, which is just unique in terms of having to reload. You got to know how many bolts you have left in order to reload quickly. So a lot of times I'll shoot 5 times and then reload again because it's one single one and I have 10 rounds again just in case. The K bolt, like he says, no matter what, you have to open it, you put in, you fire, you have to open it, put a new one in, fire. So it's a lot longer reload. But it's anti-armor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But, so depending on if you attack like the normal or the light tank, or I guess heavy and light, not normal, it can do anywhere from about like 5 to 10 damage a bullet, which doesn't sound like a whole lot, but you have 5 bullets. So if you think about it, if worst case scenario, you can do about 25 damage to a tank. If you get 2 or 3 snipers shooting a tank, you can disable the tracks and it can't move anymore. So
or
you can
even
actually
blow out one of the cannons or something.
You can
like,
disable the weapons too. Actually,
Yeah.
something interesting that I saw is that you can actually disable to where it doesn't shoot.
That's cool.
So they did a lot more with that.
Great. Just everything, like in terms of the airplanes, you can blow off a wing, and they can kind of, like, I've had a wing kind of like shred apart, and you're literally like trying to tilt, but you can repair in the air. So and then your wing gets better, and you can kind of stabilize.
Yeah, the pilot actually can repair now. It's like you can't do anything else. You can only sit and repair, but you can like basically like let it autopilot like fly.
Yeah.
And then you can repair, but it takes quite a bit to do it.
Yeah.
So
That's cool.
I
I
mean,
think what else?
horses are incredibly overpowered.
The
My opinion, personally,
the horses don't really die when you shoot them a whole lot.
which is weird.
Yeah, it's kind of weird.
So I was playing, and I got on a horse, and I'm at full health. The horse is at full health, and now I start, and I take it off, and I'm riding, and I got my lever action rifle, which, by the way, even at like 1,000 yards, it flies straight. It's like, for whatever reason, that one does have no bullet drop. It's just like, oh, that guy way out there, that's cool. Boom. Well, he's dead. It's a little ridiculous. It's like a laser beam, essentially.
Okay.
But the horse, I did not realize we passed the tank, and he turned. He's like, there's a guy on a horse. And he shot, and the tank round hit my horse in the butt, and I rode away to safety.
Wow.
The horse had 10 HP, I had like 30 HP, and I was just like, all right, like, cool, just gonna take off now. In my opinion, like, even the four-wheelers in the, like, Battlefield 4, that's the whole purpose of them, right, is they're supposed to be, like, fast maneuver and then give you a couple instant kill things. And, like, even the four-wheelers, like, have nothing compared to these horses. Like, a horse right now could kill one of the four-wheelers from Battlefield 4 and be like,
armor-plated
pleb.
horses.
Yeah, your horse had buns of steel, just
pretty
like
much, literally. He's been watching Richard Simmons, is what we're getting at.
Sweating to the oldies.
Yeah.
But I still think, I know you were saying that they'd be like the which class was it with the armor?
So they have active pickups in the game. Like, they have the flamethrower guy, the tank hunter, and then I don't remember what his name is, but he literally gets 1,200 rounds, and he gets an LMG that's just 200 rounds. And you can't iron sight. There's no aiming. It's just all hip fire. But when you're firing 200 rounds, that doesn't matter very much. And he is covered head to toe in, like, it almost looks like knight armor.
You know, I figured out how to kill them. I was actually playing Rush. They were coming to that part where it's the second to last objective, not the one in the town, but the one right in front of it. I was sitting behind this rock, and we were getting like dick stomped. Like, we were losing really bad. And so they come up. This guy is leading this charge of like 3 people.
Yeah.
And then so he's just running forward with this LMG, just like spraying, taking everybody out. My friend Nate's sitting up on this rock trying to snipe. He's like, dude, there's somebody coming with like this heavy armor. I don't know what to do about this. And I happen to be playing the assault class, and you get dynamite.
Oh, yeah.
It's kind of like the
C4.
C4, yeah, essentially. So you throw it, and then you kind of like twist this thing or whatever, and it
The
blows
plunger.
up. Yeah.
It's like a classic plunger.
Yeah. And so I threw it right underneath his feet, and he turned into a missile. He just went. He died. He just went flying, and I got like a multi-kill because I killed some people behind him.
That's what's scary. If the dynamite doesn't kill him, there's something wrong. And I have yet to try the dynamite on the horse.
So I've not tried that either. Actually,
that'll be interesting if it turns out the dynamite cannot kill a horse.
That'd be pretty funny.
Oh, the reason why I brought up the horse in the first place actually was just because I said maybe you haven't run into this, but I have, where I'll be sniping somebody who was on a horse, and it seems like people have figured out that they can start with the horse and then just jump off and then run around.
Yeah.
Because they have like a body chest armor thing. It's not on their head or anything, but it's just on their chest. So when you shoot them in the chest, it only does like 20 damage.
They're like a super. And they don't have the regular, so there's melee fighting too.
There is.
Like right now there's right now there's like a mace almost. It's like a really long thin rod, and like if you walk up behind someone, you'll hit them in the face and they'll kind of fall down, and as you're coming back up, you'll hit them again. And you just see their face crunch and they just fall back and blood goes everywhere.
It's ridiculously violent. The melee is the most satisfying thing in the game.
I thought For Honor was the game I'm going to have to be waiting for, but
the other option is a shovel, and he takes the shovel and buries it in your neck. It is violent as hell and so good.
Have you used the hatchet?
No, I haven't. That's from the pilot, right?
Yeah, but I forget which class it is, but you get actually a hatchet, and it's like you just go to town on him with it.
It's like Patriot.
It's like Mel Gibson jumping off of something and just tomahawking somebody.
That's the tank. The tank drivers get that because it's a hammer hatchet in one.
Yeah, that's right.
The pilot gets a knife. And that, so
I've been killed by that a couple times. I didn't know who had that, and it was really annoying.
I walked up.
They just like run you through.
I was trying to get this tank hunter, and there's a guy laying on the ground. And I walked up, and he's just laying there sniping. And I was like, oh, I got the tank hunter. And I pull out my knife, and I walk up, and he's laying on the ground, and he grabs him while he's on the ground, and just goes, and then just backs up, and just the dude bleeds out, and it's like,
damn.
Wow, that's scary. The other option is obviously the bayonet charge.
That is really super satisfying.
But going back to the horse, the other thing is when you go to the melee, they don't have any of that. They have the saber from being on the horse.
So they have a saber.
Yeah.
That's pretty awesome.
It is kind of hard to fight that.
It's also incredibly powerful, almost OP, because it's an instant kill if they ride by you. And like currently,
because they can ride by you and like just like King Arthur you as they're going by.
Which it's really cool, but currently the range to do it is outrageous. So it's like you say you're where you are now and you swing, you could hit someone essentially on the other side of this wall. Like it's really far. It's like I'm way over here, and maybe it's the game's trying to judge the distance.
Yeah.
Or maybe on his screen he's closer, and on yours you're not. But that's what I've seen multiple times. I've been far away, and he'll be like kind of trying to come near me, and all I have to do is back up, and then all of a sudden he swings. His sword's nowhere near me. I can see his whole sword in front of me, and I just die from getting hit by the sword. And I'm just like, no, that's not correct. If I can see the whole sword swipe in front of me, I know I didn't get hit. So yeah, that's. And then of course, if you shoot the horse is, one of the four horsemen.
It doesn't die.
Yeah. Game's fun. I want to play more.
Definitely.
Wow.
The one thing I found myself while I'm playing it is something that they need to fix. I don't know if they meant to leave this out or what. I don't know if you've experienced this, but have you ever been crouched and then tried to like, oh snap, I need to get out of here, and you cannot sprint from a crouched position?
No.
You cannot sprint from a crouched position.
What you're saying is instead you have to stand up first.
You have to stand up and then sprint.
Wow, usually in all the other ones, the sprint would automatically
it doesn't take you out of... I've died about 3 or 4 times. Really?
Yeah, on the PC, which is cool. On PC, originally they would have a button for crouch and a button for prone. And normally, like on the keyboard, control is crouch and Z is prone. They added a new function where if you hold down a button, or if you tap it, the button, you will crouch, and if you hold it down, like on the Xbox or the PS4, you hold the button, he will actually go prone. So I made that control, and I still kept Z in my prone, so if you're in an emergency, I can tap Z and I can drop, but if I wanted to do it slow, all I have to do is hold down control, and he'll get down. And like
that's cool.
Prone. Yeah. It's pretty neat.
So I wonder if that'll be something that's fixed then. If it's working on the PC,
sounds
then
like
it's
a
probably
bug,
something that's...
Yeah, because I've actually talked to people at GameStop while they were there, and I was talking about the beta, and because they were interested in it, and they were like, yeah, and I was like explaining stuff. I was like, one thing you need to fix, man, is that sprint thing when you crouch. It's like, yeah, I know, it's terrible.
Yeah.
So it wasn't just me.
Yeah.
So it was just some other random
So-
person
Let's
that
say,
came
because
in.
Must be maybe it's a console thing where
It could
you know
be.
they're having issues and they
Yeah.
just haven't fixed it yet, whereas it's been fixed in the PC version.
I was gonna say because I've been crashed before. When I hit sprint, my guy will actually stand up and run. I'm trying to think if he runs at normal speed. I think he does. Like
Yeah.
other games, you know, you crash can't run as fast.
Speaking of that, the really cool thing about the bayonet charge is not just to use an instant kill if you like run into somebody. It's actually a super helpful tool to like get out of dodge. You can just like take off, like just get out of there.
Now, after if you finish and you don't hit anyone, there's like a down, like your guy's winded and tired, so he runs slower.
yeah, for about 4 to 5
But
seconds, you cannot sprint.
like
So
he
at
says-
that point, you're just like.
If you're like in a town or something, you could take cover. But no, he's right. I've done the exact same thing. A tank turned the corner. It was just like the bayonet charge. The opposite way.
Yeah, you get out of there.
Nice.
So
It's pretty funny though.
So
you ever
does-
see it because it's a person running away from the enemy, like I don't wanna.
So does the bayonet charge when you're crouched? Work when you're crouched?
Well,
Like,
well,
have
you have to be sprinting and then hit the melee
Oh,
button. to
yeah,
get
I gotcha.
that
Okay.
charge.
yeah.
I wasn't sure if that was.
But that is very satisfying to bayonet charge because there's not just like
Agree.
one animation.
There's
Depending
several.
on where you hit him from. I mean, there was somebody that I was running at them. I was up on the little arch thing where everybody like snipes off of
Yeah.
once you get into the town.
Yeah.
I was sitting up there. My friend Nate, he was sniping from the rocks, and they actually had like I don't know what they did. They must have saved all 3 of their cavalrymen at once because they had 3 of them at once. And they all came around the corner, but they weren't even on their horses. They were running around doing that stupid thing where they just
Yeah.
they're like you can't shoot them in the chest
HP
thing
for life.
yeah.
Yeah.
So they were all up there, and one of the cavalrymen was shooting my friend in the rocks, and he's like, "Dude, you got to get rid of this guy." And so like, okay, so I just charge down the arch, and as he's turning around, I just get him right in the neck.
Yes.
And you just see him go like fall like a sack of potatoes.
So here's a fun fact. I just watched a video. Jack Frags, shout out because he'll never watch this. I just watched a video of him, and it sounded like he was trolling like the guys he was playing with. He's like, you know, you can take that arch down, that rock arch. You can actually take it down, and nobody can get up there anymore unless they drop from an airplane. And so, like, everyone's just like, you're hilarious. He goes, no, you gotta fly a plane into it. And everyone's like, oh, you're real funny. So he flew an attack plane into it, and he just died. And everyone's like, oh, you're hilarious. He goes, no. So he takes a bomber, and he rums into it, and it just dies. He goes, did it work? And everyone's just like, you're hilarious. You just stop with a troll. Then he takes a little tiny fighter plane with a 3-wing, hits it, the whole thing crumbles and gets destroyed. And I was just like, how did you do that? He's like, I told you have to hit it with an airplane. So apparently if you take a 3-wing, it could have been that it just has X amount of HP.
So you could maybe do a carpet bomb a couple times. on
Yeah,
it.
or just dynamite.
That
and see if it'll blow up. But essentially, yeah.
Oh,
and then
that'd be
it
good.
creates...
What part did he hit? Like the top or like
No,
the
like
middle?
right in the middle, the
The
bridge
middle?
part.
Okay.
And after it falls and everything, there's tunnels through there, so you can run through and like take cover. Like little, like the rocks form perfect little tunnels to run through.
Oh, that's interesting.
Game's awesome. If you couldn't tell.
super
Yeah,
good.
that-
Like I can't wait. I'm probably not gonna get premium because every time I get premium, I play it till like the 2nd expansion and then maybe the 3rd, and I can't do the last 2.
See, that's how I was with Battlefield 4. I picked up premium and
Same.
I downloaded all the stuff, but I never really played them.
Right.
And then Black Ops, or not Black Ops, not Modern Warfare, Advanced Warfare. Advanced Warfare, I picked up the full season pass.
Oh, I'm
for it.
sorry.
Season pass.
I'm sorry.
And yeah, I never really played. I like.
I'm sorry about thinking digital.
Yeah, but I don't know. The campaign wasn't bad, but it was only like 5 hours.
Wait, is that the one with Kevin Spacey?
Yeah.
No, I like that campaign. It was a good story.
Yeah.
The campaign was good, but I don't want to pay $60 for a 5-hour, 6-hour campaign.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
But I mean, like I spent quite a bit of time on the multiplayer too. But then I got Black Ops 3, and I never got around to getting the map pack. And then now I'm looking back at like the maps that have been on Black Ops 3, and I'm just like, oh wow, some of those actually look really fun. So now I'm thinking for Battlefield 1, I may get the map
actually
pass,
might be
but
the-
it's the
I'll
other
probably get
situation of
premium
like
for that.
I may or may not. I don't know because I
If-
probably
okay,
won't end
so
up using it as much.
If I may ask,
Yeah.
are you going to, if I get you said cooler and everything, are you going to start playing more games on the PC? And the reason I ask, should we get that game on PC? Battlefield 1.
Let me see how the beta works on
Okay.
my PC first.
Well, I thought since you got that 850, you're going to put Skylar's new or his older graphics card in.
Yeah, I did. So I've got a 285 in it right now.
Cool. No, it'll work fine then.
Okay.
Let me put it this way. I have everything on max, and it's been optimized so well. Just like Battlefront. Battlefront, you can have everything on Ultra on a computer and still get crazy stupid frames.
Well,
Now,
my point is like when granted I was playing on a 7770, but when I had Battlefield 4,
Yeah.
it worked ish.
That's what's weird though. This it has its legacy bugs where, and you will know if you've played any of the Battlefield games, either one of you. You try to go vault over something, and it's like you vault and then you're right
back.
there, and then you have to vault again. It's annoying. Those legacy bugs are still in the it's like Skyrim, any of the Elder Scroll games, or
it's like it's not a Bethesda game unless this happens.
Exactly. So those are in there, but I don't know if it's the new engine they're using or what it is. But I know I have a good graphics card, but I have everything literally on the absolute highest setting with the highest HDR. The only thing I turned off was essentially motion blur, because I don't like the way it looks, and it makes me, I don't know, makes my stomach turn sometimes. But I have all of that turned on max and everything, and I'm still on a regular basis getting almost 150 frames.
Okay.
Skylar has everything on max and is getting 70 to 80 frames. And
so with the 285, I should probably
you
be
should at
hitting
least
about
getting
60.
50 to 60,
Yeah.
even on max.
Yeah.
So I don't know what they're doing different, if it's just that this is the engine, how well optimized it is.
Okay.
I think it is. It's the same one
think
as
so,
Battlefront,
too.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I just think
And
I think because they did a really good job with Battlefront.
I agree.
Like as far as the
100%.
graphics wise, and
But
then,
even on consoles, there was no. I played Battlefront on PS4, and there's no. I never had any frame rate stutters or
No.
anything. It was always super smooth, and it
that is
still
still
looked
a gorgeous game.
Like running through Endor with all
play,
the
play
light
Battlefield 1,
shafts.
and you'll see
Yeah, I know.
the step
Yeah.
up from that. Actually,
I will say I did watch the E3 coverage of the first game where it had God, who all was playing? It was
Like Snoop Dogg and everyone.
Snoop Dogg.
Yeah. Jack Frags was there.
Yeah, he
Level Cap
was.
was there. Every YouTuber was.
Oh my
essentially
God!
there.
Gavin Free and
Bernie?
Yeah.
Bernie Burns were there.
Oh,
And, yeah. Bernie got secondhand stoned from Snoop Dogg because he was right next to Snoop, and they just kept passing the blunt back and forth, and he got high just from smelling everybody else with it. But anyway, no. Long story short, that was one of the big things that stood out to me though was when they were showing off that multiplayer. Somebody, I think at one point in time, Snoop was standing there with a gun, and he was just standing there in the rain, and the rain was coming and collecting on the gun, and dripping
Have you
off
seen
the
any of
gun.
that
and stuff.
footage?
actually, I didn't really pay attention.
Oh my God! So
it
that
was beautiful.
sequence.
I have never gotten a hard on from watching rain on a gun before, but my God.
Yeah. That same.
I was like, Adrian, I'm ready for round 2. Let's do this. But
That's
it was
St.
beautiful.
Quentin Scar, and when it starts raining, random craters and stuff, we'll get puddles and water collecting on the bottom.
And
of it.
as you're walking, you'll step in a puddle as you're
And it'll
running, and it's
splash
splashing
on
up,
your
and
screen.
everything. It's
I can't wait.
Battlefield 1.
Why I'm up here.
Oh,
The FT-17 light tank.
Yeah. That's the one-man single tank.
by the way, that's
And-
the what was that?
17.
FT-17.
The light tank.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fantastic. I finally got into a tank because I can't shoot a gun for shit, and I can't fly a plane, and I can't ride a horse. I can fucking hit
like
you
a
in the
problem.
head with that rifle, though.
Yeah.
I can't drive that horse.
So yeah, I had a funny glitch on the horse earlier today when I was playing. I went and I had shot and switched to my sword right after because I shot and I missed a guy, and my guy kind of did this, but he never pulled out the sword. So he had the gun now in one hand and was riding with the gun like this. And so I swung and he literally swings the gun. And I hit a guy in the face and he just died. And I was just like, this is cool.
Yeah, I had a 12.5. It was, I think, 25 kills, 12 deaths.
Nice.
The deaths stopped when I got in the tank. It was fucking hysterical.
The one glitch I ran into is very, very weird. I was playing with Nate, and I was walking behind him, and because you have all these pouches and stuff on you, obviously.
Are you talking about where rubber banded around? I've seen that same
That's
thing
so
too.
funny. So you'll be walking, and then I don't know if it's because people are crouching, moving, or whatever.
It's like it loads them in at the last second or something. No,
but
go ahead.
all of their pouches will start spinning around, and it's just it looks like they turn into the flying spaghetti monster, essentially.
For me, I've seen a backpack and it looked like he was hula hooping the backpack as it was going around
It's
him.
really funny.
It's hilarious.
Yeah, but
you'll just see it slow down and
Yeah, then it's kind of like then it goes back to normal.
I know, I've seen that glitch too. I see it every now and again.
It's
I'm
like
like,
It's like Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Flying Spaghetti Monster.
Yeah.
Like it goes back and forth.
I like it.
Yeah, but it's pretty entertaining.
So have you guys played any other games? Because we've talked a lot about Battlefield.
Yes, sir.
World of Warcraft.
Yeah, I got back in
obviously.
World of
WoW.
Warcraft, and more WoW.
I'll tap out on that one.
Yeah,
You didn't talk about that.
World of Warcraft, and then some Siege here and there. Definitely.
Siege.
Still need to play with us, Nick.
I know.
And Corey, if you have it for
I still
PS4.
He has it on
I
PS4.
do. I even have the season pass and everything.
Oh,
I bought it twice because I love that game.
Yeah, so definitely
Wow, I didn't
something
know
that we
that.
should.
Cool.
As in you bought it on PC as well?
Yep.
Oh, okay. I don't know.
And I wanted the new characters and all the extra maps that were going to come out instead of paying them individually because I'll
Well,
play.
the maps are all free.
Are they?
Yeah,
Yeah, the
all
maps
the
are all
maps are
100%.
free.
No matter
Oh,
what.
maybe it was
The
the characters.
characters, yeah,
you can
you
pay
pay.
for or you can earn with renown.
But in the renown, isn't it like 70,000 renown or something
It's-
ridiculous?
I wanted to say it was like 25,000.
It was like 25 or 30,000.
Oh, I thought-
Yeah, I
was
was
a
gonna
lot.
say it's not too
No,
much.
it's
but,
really not.
I mean, it's kind of
But
annoying
see-
to have to build.
So,
you know.
and I will never admit this to my friend Andrew, but we always had an argument that I would always say controller is better than mouse and keyboard, especially those who are so familiar with the controller that you can just snap and do everything perfectly. Well, then I started playing Battlefield, and I got so used to mouse and keyboard. Very first game I played on Siege, I killed every enemy. Well, my whole teammate, all of my teams, they all walked in and died, and I was not Thatcher, I was Thermite. With the ACOG scope on his rifle,
ACOG
and it
is
was just
amazing.
like I leaned over, pop, one, you're dead, pop, you're dead, pop, you're dead. Turn the corner, pop, he's dead, and then another guy pulled out my pistol, and another guy come running down the stairs, and I was just like, boom, 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 he's dead, and it was just like victory, and I was like,
Thermite's my boy, though.
Thermite is awesome.
Thermite, I absolutely love Thermite. Anytime I see someone running Thermite, though, with a freaking shotgun, I'm like,
no.
wow.
When the game came out, and I don't know how much they've changed Thermite in that sense, but his shotgun was pretty good. He was
Yeah.
pretty good unless they were behind one of the metal shields, like the deployable shields.
Yeah.
That's the only time I've ever seen the shotguns, because now after the update they made before this most recent, the two characters came out, they made the shotguns blow bigger holes in walls. So they were actually viable instead of like, you'd be like, boom, and like, yeah. I'm going to shoot him now. Now, like, you blow it and you can see, like, the chest.
Oh,
out.
yeah, absolutely.
So, to me, it's
but-
more violent. And they only did it because, not Frost. Was it
Buck.
Frost?
Frost.
Buck.
Buck.
Oh.
Thank you. Yeah.
Well, it's because his shotgun, it did
Was incredibly underutilized.
Yeah, with the destructibility,
Yeah.
not necessarily damage.
Yeah,
but
damage
Agreed.
it did well.
And now that's why they called it the skeleton key, because it was supposed to be like, boom, boom, and you're in. And, they were like, well, the shotguns should probably be kind of similar.
Yeah, I laugh because the way I play Thermite, I sit back a lot of the times because I feel like Thermite's important in the sense of
Yeah.
breaking in and breaching.
Yeah.
So I like to sit back, and of course his rifle is supposed to be medium to long range.
Yeah.
So to me, I'm gonna sit back and play. So
Got it.
anytime I see someone running Thermite with a shotgun, I'm like, unless it's a small map,
Well,
I
it's-
don't recommend it.
It's
usually
either
for
one
me,
because
but-
like you said, he's supposed to break in and everything, and if you're sitting outside and the rest of your team's inside, then you're also doing something wrong. Because what if
Fair
they
enough.
can't get into the hostage? They need you to blow that open.
Well, that's where I go. Like,
Gotcha.
I'll follow behind them, and then
So we need to run.
Or set.
We need to run the I'm gonna call it the Spartan strat, where everyone but one person, everyone takes shields. Whether you're the new guy or anyone,
Yep.
and then one dude just has the LMG. So then we scare everyone, and then all the people with shields just run in and pop, 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 pop. It's funny to do on the computer because then people just start screaming.
yeah. See, we do that when we are like 2-0 with the other team. That the last round usually would be like, run in shields, let's go, guys, and then we'll just go and destroy them with shields because
Shields are OP.
yeah, well, it's
They
hilarious.
can be.
They definitely
It's hilarious.
Okay, let me rephrase this. They were OP before you could knife them.
You can knife shields?
Yeah,
you can
you
knife
can
them
now.
and they knock away. You can actually expose them and they get stunned for about 1.5 seconds.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, so after they did before then, yeah, it was like you could do nothing and they
Yeah.
could just like hit fire you. But no, once you
Yeah.
knife them, I've done that so many times actually.
Can you do that to Montaigne still?
Not his
gonna say-
full body
okay.
shield,
I was
like
gonna
but
say,
Blitz
yeah.
and the recruits and
Yeah.
fuses. you can knife his shield and it'll knock away, and you have about like a second to a second and a half. So you can even almost knife again before they even do anything.
I didn't
So
know.
you have to time it well if you're going to go run in and be melee with the shield,
Yeah.
because people, they can knock you away now.
Yeah, it did make me laugh one time. Someone with a shield ran at me, and they were going to smack me with the shield. Right as they did, I knifed them, and then they just died. And I was like, "So
Was it in the hand or something?
you just
Well, and the same thing with, I can't remember the guy with the flash shield.
Oh, Blitz.
Blitz. His head, I don't know if they patched it or not, but his hitboxes for his head, because his earmuffs came out, they counted the earmuffs as part of his head. So his earmuffs would actually stick out just a little bit around the shield. So if you were really precise, he could be standing straight in front and go, boom, and just like nick his ear and be like, oh, I'm dead, and just fall over. But
I'm actually not sure
Maybe
about
that's
that.
why I
'cause-
would kill him with Jaeger, because Jaeger's gun is really accurate. I would
Yeah,
kill him.
that-
sometimes.
that could
and
be.
I mean, it's literally like, it's not much, but it's the span of like nicking their ear, and it does count as a headshot. But
That's pretty funny.
Granted, I don't know if that was patched in this most recent with the.
Actually, I think they had I remember reading the patch notes about that. I thought they had fixed that like a couple updates ago.
I have no idea.
I'm pretty sure, actually, and I
I
remember
haven't
that.
played in about a month. I've been doing Legion, also another game called Of Kings and Men. I'll talk about.
Yeah, I want to hear about that one because I've seen you've been on
Yeah,
it.
I'm gonna
Mhm.
post some videos on it because it's hysterical. But yeah, do you want me to talk about it now? Because I can.
You can't. I don't care.
I was gonna say
What-
I
did
had
you want to
something
talk about
about
the new? Have you guys talked about the new operator? Did you ever
a
talk
good
about
bit,
that?
yeah.
Oh, you
a
did.
good bit,
Okay,
yeah.
because the last time I
Um,
was my first
'cause I
time
went-
on here was right before they had actually released
Yeah,
it.
yeah. I've talked about him a couple times now, which I mean, if you have something that you really like
Have you
about,
ever
you know.
really played as Caveira?
Caveira, I have not played as personally because I don't roam.
Gotcha.
You know, that's just
I like
not
to
my play
roam.
style.
Most of the time.
Make it a one-on-one fight.
Well, not just that. I like to be away from everything at first, just so that I can I let everybody kind of ruin each other, and then I come in and see what I need to do. I kind of just I fill in where I need to. I either need to if I have to be the last, I do pretty decent as the last one. I try not to be the last one, obviously.
Right.
But I try to fill the role of either just taking out the important person or
Right.
something. For example, I don't really necessarily like the idea of Pulse all the time, but I do play him because I'll try to find where they're trying to breach, and I'll either C4 them or I'll kill one guy and then I'm outie, bye, and I'll just
Yeah.
then they're down one, then we have the advantage
Yeah.
kind of thing. But I do like the interrogate thing with Caveira. It's kind of hard to get.
See, I
in
haven't
that
Yeah.
position.
seen that.
You haven't seen it? So, for example, okay, doesn't matter who you are or whatever. The main way to do it is with the pistol, because it's actually a non-lethal, pistol. It does, you can kill people with a pistol,
Yeah.
but it's it's not supposed to be a one-shot, oh, you killed them kind of thing.
Yeah.
But you can light them up with the pistol, it'll down them, and as, you know how you walk to somebody and you revive them, you hold whatever button
Yeah.
is to revive. Same button, but it's actually, you walk up to them and you hold a knife to their throat. If you finish the little bar thing that goes around, you'll slit their throat, they're dead, and then all the people on their team get revealed, for 10 seconds on your screen. You can see them through the walls and everything's
So
a red
the
name.
outlines, or is it?
It's full on you can see.
Shit.
Yeah, I was gonna say
that's
it's-
why you don't want to leave somebody by themselves. People actually have been killing their friends so they don't get interrogated.
That's
Yeah,
kind of badass. I mean,
Yeah.
awful, but badass.
It's kind of hard to one
zombie
off somebody.
apocalypse. Sorry, bitch. Boom.
But yeah, it's a pretty interesting tactic using that. It is, like I said, it is kind of hard to get somebody completely by themselves, but it doesn't take that long. If you can catch somebody off guard and they decide to be the hero and they end up getting downed, you can really screw the rest of their team pretty
Cool.
bad.
Yeah, for sure. I will say with her ability to the silent step.
The silent step too. You
Is
basically can
very
walk in.
nice.
It's like Ninja Pro for Call of Duty.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Kind of thing.
Yeah, he's talked about that, which to me is
Yeah,
very appealing
well,
because that makes it super easy to roam.
Yeah, well, I watched even one of Shannon's in-game kills with Caveira, and I mean, literally, they were the last person on the enemy team was looking at us because we were sitting in the room that they needed to go into. Shannon just runs up behind him with the silent step, and then just
Well,
it's
it's funny because you're walking, and then you'll turn it on, and then you're kind of like this, like you hold your gun like this, and it looks like you're trying to like be all snake. It's just really,
Yeah, it is
looks like
really
you're gonna come
funny.
behind and like rape them or something, like a creeper. I don't know what it is.
Yeah,
But like you come behind it, and then like you just turn it off. It's like bam, 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 it's like laying to him, or not, or I knifed that person.
Yeah, you
What are
knifed
talking
that-
about?
well,
I just came
literally-
behind him. I just sat there for like half a second. I was like, wait. I just like knifed
Yeah,
him.
well, I want to say it was even like Blackbeard or whatever.
Yeah,
So
it was
I mean,
Blackbeard.
like
It
we
was
were,
Blackbeard.
yeah, we were having trouble killing them because Blackbeard's freaking shield
Head
is.
shield, yeah,
Awesome.
awesome. but
It's annoying as hell. Yeah, if
It
you're
is.
not
Like you
Blackbeard.
roam.
But yeah, he literally just. I'm gonna go get him.
Didn't even hear me. Just
Yep.
you know, like Jumanji, heard of elephants, just running down the hall, didn't give a hell, just walking behind him, then knife him, didn't even notice.
What a
Yeah.
good reference.
Yeah, so I mean, definitely, I haven't really played as her because again, I don't roam. I know that about my play style that I like to sit, I like to camp, I like to wait, and then be like, I see you.
Like, taking out targets. Boom, boom.
Yeah, see, I like to do that kind of stuff, and
I was gonna say I saw that yawn building.
I know, I couldn't hold it back. I tried.
yeah, so I haven't really played as Caveira. I do like Capitao every once in a while.
Capitao is a great idea because Fuse was the only person with an LMG besides a recruit.
Yes.
Yeah.
So if you wanted bullets for days, you were Fuse.
Yep.
But he's also kind of a fat ass. Like he's
Oh my
really,
God,
he's
he
really
is, yes.
slow. Capitao is the opposite. He is like the epitome of speed, but he can carry an LMG. So he can't take a shot like Fuse can, but he can sure like rain bullets on you. So it's really interesting being able to play with Capitao because generally you think of an LMG like oh like heavy dude, you know,
Yeah.
like right in the middle of everything. But you can actually be kind of like sneaky with him a little bit because he's not as loud as
Is
the
that
people.
what's his special ability?
The crossbow.
Yep.
Yeah,
Love
that's
the,
right.
the crossbow thing that shoots the incendiary
Yeah.
arrows and then the smoke. Really, really helpful. It's the anti-camping gun is what I call it. But
Well, it scares
Do-
people, it gets people to move.
I
It
remember
does.
Yep.
asking him, so if you hit a person with a shield with the fire crossbow, does it do anything?
Because Capitao is a attacker.
Oh,
no one
that's
on the
right,
defender
that's right.
has. Yeah.
I remember asking that. I couldn't remember why. I couldn't remember it.
I was gonna say the shields that are actually deployed. I mean, if you're
if you're still next to it, it causes an area. They're going to be hurt
yeah.
if they're sitting literally right
So
behind
it's like
it.
dropping napalm in an area.
Yeah,
Kind of, yeah.
Yep.
It's like a phosphorus grenade. Like if you play Rainbow Six, like Vegas 1 or 2, it's like the phosphorus grenades or whatever. Like they call it like a cloud.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the worst part about it actually is one time I shot it. It's not an instant kill if you shoot somebody with it.
Yeah,
it
it
kind of
burns.
sticks in them and it follows them. It's like in them. So I had somebody that I shot an enemy. It stuck to him. He starts running towards my friend, and I get like friendly fire negative points because it caught him on fire. And I was like, no, get away, get away, get away. So
It would be
was-
funny to hit him though with like a smoke arrow. Just he can't see. He's just running around and can't
Carrying
see a
smoke.
single thing.
That's actually I need to try that. That sounds great. I'm gonna headshot somebody with it, and he's gonna be walking around. That sounds great.
He just imagine
my
it his
whole
back
goal.
like I can't fucking see anything.
I'm gonna do that on casual now. That's my whole new goal. Is just to headshot people with the crossbow with the
We
smoke on it.
We need to record it.
I need to
and see what
record it.
happens.
I'll let you know how that
That
goes.
sounds awesome.
But I didn't think about that.
But no, his Capitao's. I'm not a big LMG person. I take like quality over quantity. I like to take just a few bullets. That's all I need. I used to run that little 17 clip SMG all the time
Yeah.
on smoke
Sled,
and
yeah,
sledge.
sled,
I call it the
yeah.
pepper gun because you just let they're dead.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that gun. But his assault rifle is the one gun that I found that rivals Jaeger's gun. Like Jaeger's, in my opinion, is probably the best gun overall
Trying
as
to
far as
remember.
assault rifles.
Oh, yeah.
Ash's is really good too. Her
Everyone
R4C.
loves that. Oh, I like the other one. The
G36.
Yeah, the G36.
It's more accurate, but I don't think it does as much body damage.
Gotcha.
The
See,
R4C,
that's
it
what-
doesn't matter if you shoot
I'll
somebody
put
that think
the
they're dead.
I can't remember whichever is if it's the reflex side or whatever that has the triangle. You hit him once in the head.
Yeah.
And it's like
Well,
stupid accurate.
Yeah, the 36 is definitely
Yeah.
way more accurate, but it's like if you're trying to go brr like that, if you don't hit him in the head, the 36 is not going to kill him in
Gotcha.
the body. You'll probably get him down to about 10 or 20. But yeah, definitely the R4C, it's like it doesn't matter where you shoot them, they're dead. I don't know what it is, but yeah, the Capitao's assault rifle, I actually run that more than LMG.
See, we had talked about it one single podcast too, where sometimes though the LMG doesn't have to kill them, it just has to scare them. And so, like,
Yeah.
one single game, I had taken Fuse, and I had taken the LMG, and just shot a shit ton through a door and through a window that was all boarded up. And I wasn't hitting anyone. I killed one person, but that's because I knew he was there.
Yeah.
And I just kept firing and firing and firing, and I went through my whole entire magazine. And I didn't even reload. After I got done firing, I pulled out my pistol and ran in, and everyone was laying down. So they didn't get shot. And it was just boom, 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 and it was just like victory.
Okay.
So it's a scare tactic almost. As long as you know you don't hit the hostage, because I came like that close several times.
Oh my gosh! What crossbow? Don't hit the hostage.
Yeah.
That happened one time. We had a really smart teammate
Burned
one
it
time.
along. Oh man.
Yeah. I was gonna say, didn't the enemy team accidentally do that at one point as well? They shot one of the. No, it was Fuse. They had Fuse, and they
Oh yeah.
put the thing
grenade.
in it.
Every once in a while
that makes me
happens.
laugh so hard. I'm like,
I know. I was
why
gonna
you
say.
run Fuse on hostage?
I was gonna say
and
same
then do
thing.
that in the freaking hostage room. You know they're there.
In the very beginning, though, when that game had first come out, people didn't really realize that, though.
Yeah.
So good. You're all sitting in the hostage room, and all of a sudden you hear, boom, boom, boom.
Yep.
It's like, oh well, we win. Doesn't matter if we die.
I still to the worst thing ever when we were playing the first time and you played Fuse, and we go in and there's a fucking door and he breaches the door and he goes and he tunk 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 tunk, and we're sitting there and then he just goes grenade and I go what, and they come rolling out underneath the door.
That has
Blew
happened.
me
It
up.
was,
Yeah.
the airplane. It literally just tunk tunk tunk, and literally I watched one
It bounced and it comes back out.
Yeah, it just rolled under real slow, and I was like, "Good night." And I jumped down the stairs, and he goes, "What?" And it's just, you killed Neo Brenner. I was like, "Let's restart."
Yeah, no, I think I did that to you by accident one time too. I put it on a window, I want to say, and it either
you
glitched
put it,
and it.
you put it in a window, and what happened is it shot in, but they kind of all just go like
Yeah,
random.
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
What happened? It was on Canal. It was the big,
Yeah, yeah.
the comms room.
Yeah,
the
yeah.
big one. He put it on one of the windows, which usually would be fine. But what happened is I was coming in from the server room, and I was coming around that other side.
Oh, that's
it
right.
shot through that
Holy
window
shit.
into another door. It bounced off of the wall and came around the corner and killed me. I wasn't even in the same
Like, you-
room as you
like,
shooting
I was
in.
like,
I was like, I want to be angry
Pinball.
at you, but I don't know how you did that.
yeah,
Pinball wizard.
yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, I don't know how I did that either.
Yeah.
Well, I want to say one time it glitched and it actually bounced out of the window.
No, that's
As
happened.
well.
Yeah, that has happened too.
Yeah,
It
where,
bounced.
weird.
where
I've
it
never seen
actually
that.
like flipped, rather than going into the room, it actually shot it out and towards us, and we're like, what? Where is this
Sorry,
going?
guys, this is my one. Forgot to fix that one.
Yeah. Look out.
But Legion.
Yeah,
Thoughts on
yeah,
Legion?
Legion.
I actually want to hear this.
Fucking love it.
Yeah, I was
Here's-
not a fan of WoW, but the whole new story-driven thing
Yeah.
reminds me of Star Wars, and it's
Yeah, it's nice.
right. That's what we do nowadays.
Just, yeah. No. One thing I like about Legion. So they've basically got the new artifact weapon system where you have to go find an artifact weapon, and then you get these relics that you use to upgrade your weapon. So rather than doing different things to get a weapon that has slightly better DPS or whatever, you have a weapon that you carry with you
That you
throughout
make
the rest of the
stronger.
game, and then you just make that weapon stronger by adding different relics to it and stuff like that.
Does it level up, or is it just like a certain level?
No.
does level up.
It's so like as you
up
find
with you?
different things, it increases the item
Sort
level,
of.
which increases the DPS and increases
Oh.
the amount of like
Okay.
increased strength.
It's like you
and stamina
essentially,
stuff.
and there are like chests all over the place. You can open one, and it'll have an item in there that raises your weapon level or your weapon XP, if you will, by X amount. And all you do is use it. And every time you find it, I have yet to get mine above the very first level. It starts at 300, and the majority of stuff I'm finding is like raise your weapon level by 30. It's like, oh,
Yeah.
okay, this is gonna
Um,
take just a little longer.
I will say I was watching Skylar play. Granted, he was at I think like 102, 103. So it's probably just because he's further into it.
Yeah.
But like he was like completing quests, and they were like, "Oh, here's an item that'll grant 200 experience
Oh,
to
that's
a weapon."
good.
So like it does get
Okay.
better as it goes on.
Damn, I thought I finished a lot of Stormwind. I guess I haven't.
Huh?
I've started doing not Stormwind, Storm. It's one of the places where it's got all the fucking Valkyr, which, by the way, World of Warcraft Vikings. Yes, please.
Oh yeah, you're talking about the warrior class line.
No, and any of the very first. So you do your artifact, which gives you. Everyone has a unique quest, which is awesome. So
yes
like,
and no.
The
I'll get to
warrior-
that.
I really like it. Skylar was like, you got to go talk to Sourfang because he's a warrior and I'm a warlock. And so I'm looking everywhere for fucking Sourfang and I can't find him. And then I find a guy who's trying to give me a quest. I'm like, what the hell? And I take him. It's like, go to the Underbelly. And I go down there. There's demons everywhere. We summon a gate, and essentially this huge demon comes out and enslaves us and everything. And I was like, oh, it's because I'm a warlock. We each have our own quest.
Right.
At least starting quest.
Correct. My only issue I have with that is I get why they're doing it all together, because it's the whole point of this portion of WoW, it seems like, is they're trying to basically bring Alliance and the Horde together to fight the
Even though during those invasions you get ganked left, right, and center.
Well, that's what I'm saying. So like when I was doing my quest to get my Paladin's sword and shield.
Yeah. Is it a sword and shield? I thought it was just a shield.
No, it's a sword and shield. Well, so the actual artifact is a sword or is a shield,
but
and then it has a matching sword that goes with it.
Gotcha.
So anyway, so it's a sword and shield, but the problem is, as long as you're a paladin, it's all the same quest line. So like you have to go to this area and talk to this guy, go to this area, talk to this guy, go to this area, solve a puzzle, go to this area and do another. But each area is full of like when I was doing it, I mean this was the day of release or the day after release. And it was full of 105, 106 level Alliance characters ganking all the level 100 Horde characters.
No problem with that whatsoever.
Dude, it got to the point where like I would come in on a flying mount and I would wait and wait and wait. I'd be like, okay, go, click, 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 run my mount. Fuck, they killed me. So then I'd spawn over here and then I'd walk over here on the other side of this mountain and then I'd resurrect and then I'd instantly mount and fly and go, okay, now what do I have to do? And I'd go back in and look at the quest and I'd be like, okay, now I gotta go to this area. So I fly over to that area. It's like 8 or 9 different.
So you know what that tells me?
What?
Everyone loves paladins.
Right?
I did my warlock one, and like that type of stuff, I did not run into a single Alliance person.
Skylar had the exact same thing with his warrior. He said he never saw a single Alliance character.
I was gonna say it must
he
everyone fucking loves to play pallies.
And he said also, with every single Alliance character he did happen to come across, they would just run by each other, and that was it.
That happened to me every single time. I did see some Alliance characters when I was doing a couple of the quests, and literally 3 of them ran up, and they kind of looked at me, and then just ran away. And at one point, I saw an orc following a fucking night elf.
Yep.
They were like questing together, and I was like, I don't even know how they're doing that, but that's awesome because they can't understand each other. The fucking language won't let it.
Right.
Yeah, which always makes me laugh.
When they're talking, it's like Yeah, what
I was gonna say, I don't remember it doing that on when I was playing World of Warcraft years back. With
Well,
with the language thing where you had to know their language.
I will also say I don't know if it would make a difference, but he wasn't playing. He was playing on
a free server.
Oh,
yeah. So it did not do that.
Somebody probably made it for like roleplay reasons or something.
Yeah.
So like when you're talking in the chat and stuff like that, yeah, it's completely
Well, because I was gonna say, at one point I was my level 63 or whatever running around as my paladin, and someone's like, "Hey, I need a tank for this. Can I?" will you join me? And they didn't know I was Horde, and they were Alliance, and they're like, oh shit. And then I was like, oh, hi. And then they're like, yep. And then they kicked me out of the group, and I was like, okay.
Oh, so it even let you be in the same group?
Yeah, it lets you be in the same group and everything.
Yeah, you can't do that in World of Warcraft.
I was going to say, I didn't remember that from playing before, so like, now I'm like, oh, okay. Which makes perfect sense. Ion was the same way, in the sense that you couldn't talk to the other
the angels
faction.
and demons.
Yeah, essentially. Yeah.
One had black wings, one had white.
Yep, essentially. But I noticed that this time around that I was like, oh, I don't know what.
So this is going to be a really weird thing to say. I wish. I'm just going to go ahead and clarify. I wish World of Warcraft, the humans look like from Korean MMOs and stuff, where like the humans were properly portioned.
I don't know.
The guys like when they're in their armor, or like Final Fantasy.
That's what they look
yeah,
like.
that's it. Like humans in World of Warcraft, unfortunately, it's just like they've been working on their. I mean, they've been doing something with these muscles. If you know what I'm saying. And then their shoulders are huge, and their muscles like.
Well,
It does
but
make me laugh.
it's because they have to have something to mount those giant fucking shoulder pads on.
Like, I know when I have them on my Warlock right now, or no, on my Death Knight, because I just got the,
Yep.
like, I finished the Death Knight stuff, and the holders, like, don't even touch the shoulder, and I'm like, well, that's weird.
Well, see,
That's like personal gripes, like
The-
when the sword doesn't actually stick to the back, and it's got that level of hover where it
Yeah.
just magically clips.
see what makes me laugh is I'm a Tauren, so it actually looks fairly normal on the size of my character. Like my pauldrons
Have
are
you
huge.
been playing, like, pretty
but-
constantly?
Yeah.
You know what's funny is I've watched a couple Taurens, like, over the last couple days that I've played. I watched 2 different Taurens run by, and I'm just like, man, I wish I was a Tauren Death Knight. That'd be cool.
Yeah, no, well, immediately I was like,
I will say
I'm gonna-
Taurens are badasses for tanks. If you're
Oh, yeah,
ever looking
absolutely.
to, well, because
The HP and everything.
they've also got a skill that makes it to where they add 5% of their stamina. So like any whatever your level of stamina is, they add an additional 5% of it. So like if you're tanking for tanking purposes, yeah, it helps a lot.
yeah. Immediately I was like, I'm gonna make a Tauren. You know, for one thing, I didn't want the demon hunters can only be blood elves, and then I made a blood elf hunter, and I was like, so I don't want a blood elf DK.
Yeah.
I'm gonna make a Tauren. So I did, and I'm like, you know,
Yeah.
the race-wise, the racial perks, definitely.
Yeah.
It was
Let's see,
a
I have
good
an
choice.
undead DK, and there's just something about an undead person walking up with all this, like, armor and then a sword, and then putting his hands up and a bunch of undead raising around him.
That is pretty awesome.
It just makes me go.
Yeah, see, right now I'm playing Blood, because that's what I've always played with
Yeah.
my DK, and then I know it's primarily a tank, but now that you can just respec whenever the fuck you want,
Yeah, which
I'm
is
like,
cool. I'm really glad they did
Yes, very.
Yeah, no, I like it. I'm like,
Well, I mean, they
I'm gonna do
even they
this
even
for
have because once you is it in your quest line before you go get your actual weapon? There's a quest line that you do, and one of the the things that it rewards you with is basically like a I guess the best way to describe it is like it's like a Hearthstone, but instead of transporting you somewhere, it creates like this thing that people can use to respec their stuff without having to be in a rested
It's
area.
a book. You get 5
Yeah.
book uses, and for 1 minute after you use the book, you can respec your talents anywhere in the world, as
Yeah.
opposed to just a rest area. Yeah, I've already used 3 of them because I'm constantly switching them around, trying to see what's better
Yeah.
for my warlock. But yeah, no, I love that. I want to go buy more. Actually,
Yeah. See, that's one thing I liked with Star Wars was you could get the holograms to respec and stuff like that in the field rather than having to be in like an area
Yeah.
to talk to a trainer to respec everything. And that's once they added it into where you can just do it for free in a rest area. And then like one of the first people I talked to had like vanishing powder. I was like, that's useless now. Because
Oh,
vanishing
dude.
power is what you used
On,
to reset all your talents.
Yeah, I was gonna say on my mage, I still have teleport and portal stones
Yeah.
just sitting in my inventory because you used to have those stones if you ever wanted to make a portal for anyone to use. You had to use them and consume one every single time. And I was like, I wonder if these work. And I made a portal and I still had it. And I was like, oh, cool, I'm gonna keep those because I doubt you can buy them anymore. But
Yeah.
I think the biggest thing to me, besides the whole story, big update with just the amount. So what I hated about World of Warcraft is you'd have all these crazy amounts of buttons that did all these crazy things, but so much of it was based around auto-attacking if you were not a caster.
Mm-hmm.
So if you were a rogue or whatever, you would use your abilities, and then after you finish your rotation, you would auto-attack once or twice and then start your rotation again or whatever. And that was boring to me, because it's just like you click on a guy and you watch your guy go. I got bored. And they've taken a lot of the very useless skills out and then maybe mixed them with another ability. So now my hotbar, instead of being absolutely outrageously full going up into my right 2 hotbars, it's almost barren. But still, they somehow made it so a lot of the way, like a lot of it is still complicated. So, like with my Demonology Warlock, I have to constantly, I mean, I don't have to, but whenever you summon a demon, it's better to enhance the demon so it gives it more haste and everything, and then I have it so after I use that I can instantly cast a Shadow Bolt. So I literally start off and I enhance my Felguard, I fire the Shadow Bolt, I call my 2 Dreadstalkers in, enhance them, fire it again, fire Shadow Bolt, call in a Hand of Gul'dan, which then dooms and has all the minions. I enhance them, and then I summon an eye. I can't remember what it's called, an Oculus thing, and it fires these eye beams at it, and I'll enhance that. And by that time, usually the enemy's dead. And the single target damage is awesome, but the amount of burst is not really there. So sustainability, I can do about 27,000 to 28,000 damage. But I watched it, like, I had to go through that whole rotation to kill a regular guy on the area I'm at now, and then I watched a DK walk up and go, "Oh, guy, dead." And then just like, it's like
3-4 hits, you try
Oh.
to kill everything.
Yeah.
I wish
It's
I was
great.
that.
So that's why when I'm with my paladin, I don't even know the names of everything, but I literally just like 4-3, shift 5-5, and then everything's dead.
Everyone's rotation is numbers.
Yeah.
I know mine's the exact same. Mine is literally thumb 1 button E, thumb 2 button, thumb 1 button E, fucking 1 thumb button E, shift 1 thumb button E. Usually they're dead.
Yeah.
Like that exact rotation, I've got it down in my hand, so I just know exactly what I'm doing.
But see, like that's one thing I love about
Haven't
having an
gotten it down
MMO
that far
mouse,
yet.
because I've just got everything mapped to my thumb here, because I've got
Buttons, yeah.
16 keys,
Yeah.
16 keys or 12 keys or something. I don't know.
Oh, what is it, Naga?
Yeah,
12.
12. So I got 12 keys right here. So I basically just run through this rotation of like just like 4-3, shift 5, 5, and then like when everything's dead, usually I could also hit shift 5 again, and it basically my consecration's still on the ground, which so that's my heal, and then I end up healing most of any damage that I've lost. So you just go from mob to mob to mob to mob. So soloing stuff really isn't that bad at all, and it's pretty funny doing legacy stuff with my Death Knight, because I can literally I think it's called Grasp, and then I don't remember what their version of Consecration is, but basically like I could just like find one character, and then I make all the ground that they're standing on become AoE damage, and then I use Grasp on them, and then everybody within a 20-yard radius gets pulled into that guy, and then everything just drops dead because it's legacy and everybody
have you
has
ever
like
played WoW,
horrible
ever?
HP.
A long time ago.
Okay, but you kind of know what I'm talking about. How it seemed like the rotation, there were so many buttons. A lot of it was auto attacking. You just
No,
right
yeah,
click.
no, I definitely.
If
yeah,
you were
that's
ever to
what I
get
heard.
back into it, now is essentially the time, because
That's what I heard. A lot of people told
It's
me that
actually
it's good.
really good. It's a
I heard
lot
they
of fun.
they simplified things,
Yeah.
but they also made it to where you can make it complicated,
So,
but still good. Like,
apparently in
it's
Cataclysm they
complicated.
made
Yeah.
everything too easy. Like a warrior, you could essentially take your keyboard and just face roll it, and you would kill 3 enemies. And now, you laugh, but it's true.
Yeah.
It was pretty true.
I just had the vision of like you just like going into an arena and just like, want to see how this is done?
It's like play of the game.
Like PvP, just
Dude, it's like watching somebody eat like do like a watermelon eating contest. Like they
Yeah.
just and everything's dead.
But now it's that easy. There are less abilities and everything, but somehow it still keeps the complication of keeping so many things up. It's a lot more about timing, what move you're going to use next, and everything. I really like it, and the story so far with more cutscenes, like just the starting quest for the
I like
warlock.
that.
Just starting quest for the warlock, there were all these warlocks, and like there was a worgen, there was another undead, there was a gnome, there were all these random races to show you that they're all working together, and we all summoned this portal, and like we all had to channel into it, and it was cool, and like they're calling you new blood and everything, and all this like you're all using dark energy, and all of a sudden the portal comes to life, and like this huge hulking demon comes out, and he puts his hand out, and he says something about how we're he says something like insulting you, and this gnome runs out, and he's like, I am so-and-so Fizzlebach, you will bow to me, demon. And the demon literally picks him up and says something about calling him a little fleshy mortal, just throws him and kills him because he smacks him against the ground. And then he essentially enslaves all you, and you have to escape that realm. He takes you back to the demonic realm, and you have to escape it.
Huh.
And it's the special artifact relic I got for demonology is a talking skull, which is it's strange, but so it's an offhand weapon, but his primary weapon is a dagger, and it's a spine that you just keep on your belt, so you constantly cast with both hands now instead of having a staff or something in your hand. And the skull, his special ability is essentially I summon all these demons, and then the ability that the artifact gives me is Hunger of Kalmir or whatever, and he essentially absorbs 6% of all my demon's HP and fires a blast at the enemy
Oh, that's
of
awesome.
accumulation of all 6%. So I will summon all these demons, and for like half a second, have enough time to like do that ability, and I will almost always hit at least 120 to 200,000. It's just a crazy nuke right now, and I don't know. It makes me super happy. Eventually, when you upgrade the artifact to a certain point, he will randomly go over to the enemy in an AoE and just scream with demonic power, and it just does a crap ton of AoE damage to everyone nearby. But you don't fight with a weapon, which is what I love. I just do all the casting, and he just floats around. He's just a little demon skull with horns, and he's on blue fire, and he makes little wisecracks the whole time. It makes me laugh.
Now, see, that's what I like with the paladin. It kind of like your opening missions or whatever that you have to do. Basically, you're searching for an artifact that was actually created by Tyr. And so you actually go on this whole like almost National Treasure-esque treasure hunting thing to find the tomb
Why is
of
Nicolas
Tyr.
Cage in everything?
I know, right?
Now World of Warcraft?
Yeah. I mean, first
See
we
his
got
face,
Mr.
it's
T,
like-
now we got Nicolas Cage. But no,
Oh God.
but no, so I mean, like, you go on this whole, like, treasure hunt thing to go to try to find this stuff, and then you have to get in this cave and then, like, prove your worthiness and pass all these trials of
Is
Tyr
it
to
so?
get into...
Is the shield like look cool? First off.
Oh, it looks fucking badass.
Okay, which spec is it that gets the sword that the paladin who fights Arthas gets, that he uses? So if you remember, and it's because I just did it, that I know
You're
this.
talking Ashbringer.
Maybe where it's like the weird square sword with the big circle.
Yeah, it's got
Ashbringer.
that circle cut out,
Yeah.
that's floating
Yeah.
there. Okay, that's Ashbringer, and that's the Retribution Paladin.
So that's the attack.
Yeah, it's a DPS.
DPS.
I
I don't like the look of that sword. That's why I'm asking. I think that sword looks silly.
You don't?
I don't like it.
Oh, okay.
The
I
cool
think it's
thing is
beautiful, though.
with the orb behind it that floats, but the super square look and how big it is
Yeah.
just looks strange.
But I mean, like Ashbringer's been around in Warcraft lore
Yeah.
since like Warcraft.
Yeah.
But I mean, the Holy Paladin has like a fucking two-handed hammer that's just ridiculous. But I still like my little.
Do you still get to
Prop
throw
Palace sword
hammers
shield.
at people?
Huh?
Do you still get to throw hammers at people? You know, the like
Right.
spirit
Have
hammers.
you-
Do you get to throw those?
I've got
You do.
one
Yes.
ability.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
a
yeah.
judgment. It's a judgment that I have. Yeah.
I was
I've
gonna
got
say.
yeah, well,
So
that. So
I
like
still-
I've got my sword and I'm attacking with a sword and then hammer and then back
it's
to
like
sword.
a white
Yeah,
hammer.
yeah.
But,
I
yeah.
just have to laugh because I killed someone in PvP with that years back, and it made me laugh because that was the last. Like I was.
Everything was on cooldown.
Well, everything was on cooldown, and I was on the ship, you know, that takes off to go back.
Oh, yeah.
And
Yep.
I was about to hit that loading tree, and I was like, and I threw it and killed him, and then it all of a sudden loaded, and I'm like, I know I just killed you before I left.
Victory.
Fuck yeah! But
Nice.
it made me laugh because they attacked me in a neutral zone, so like all the NPCs like freaked out, and of course the NPCs are attacking me and him at the same
Right.
time because we're fighting each other.
Yeah.
Which,
But yeah, I just threw one and
speaking
killed
of
him at the
neutral
very end. I was
zones,
like,
I love how Delarn has officially become the new Orgrimmar in Stormwind,
Pretty much.
and I love how
Everyone chills there for now.
like it's cool that Delarn is like in a new location and you have a Hearthstone that specifically takes you to
Yeah.
Delarn. Except the fact that it's in a new location I don't have flying in, and I'm used to flying in Delarn, and it really pisses me off that I can't fly in Delarn anymore.
So here's my quick question: can you fly into Lord at some point, ever?
Yeah, you'll have to
Is
get to
there-
max. You have to get to max level because it's in the new area, so you have to get to max level to buy a flight license.
Do we
to
know how much that is? That's what I was afraid of. 'Cause
Yeah.
it's like outrageous the amount of money.
all I know is I'm super happy because I just got my flying mount for my DK.
Nice.
Yeah.
Oh, this is still up from the last time you guys took my tablet. It's a Google search for how to tell your parents you're gay.
Oh.
Legion.
So, while we're on a pause from WoW for a second, I will talk about Of Kings and Men.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Have you heard of
Brief
this?
synopsis of this. I'm not exactly sure what this is.
So it's. Have you ever played Chivalry?
Yes.
Okay. Imagine
Love it.
Chivalry
Okay.
mixed with War of the Roses. Have you played that?
No.
That's PC only. Its controls a lot harder than Chivalry. So Chivalry is
Okay.
it's simple but then intuitive at the same
Yeah.
time, where horizontal swing, vertical stab, and everything. It's
Yeah.
just like that. But War of the Roses was based more on which way you were swinging. Or have you ever heard of warband? That's another option that kind of some people throw in.
I've heard of it.
So essentially, think of chivalry. Now think of it of 100 versus 100.
That sounds awesome.
It is. So it's literally 100 people versus 100 people, max 200 people servers. And
Wow.
everyone starts off spawn. It's hilarious right now. It's in early access, so everyone starts off on the T spawn in one location. They don't have multiple spawns. They have one spawn. So everyone spawns inside each other and just goes...
That sounds like a really great orgy.
It's hilarious to watch. And then, like, as people are spawning and they're running forward, so it's just like an unlimited spawn of these people, and finally it'll just cut off and there'll just be a huge line of people. You hit T to scream, although some people will say, you know, hit T for $1 million, hit T to fucking, like, stop the Sandy Hook shooting. Like, lots of really bad jokes have come from hitting T. But everyone will be running.
Hit T for
Yes.
Harambe.
Yeah.
That was like the second or third one I saw.
I figured. There's no way that
So,
would have gotten by.
Everyone hits.
Ugh.
Essentially, you hit T and you all scream. You can customize your character as much as you want. You start off with essentially basic padding. You start off with a pole axe, a small axe. It's not a hatchet. A falchion and a shield, like a small round shield, and a bow. There's another melee weapon I'm missing in there too, and I can't. Oh, a club.
My first question, and that's with any game that's like that. How good is the bow?
So, have you played Chivalry?
Yeah.
Have you played the bow in Chivalry?
Mm-hmm.
Very similar.
Okay.
So it's actually incredibly fulfilling to hit someone because it does stick out of them, and like
Yeah.
there's no healing.
Yeah.
Once you get hit, there is no healing. You have to like try and survive as long as you can. So you will have groups of 5 or 6 people standing back, lobbing arrows, and I mean, you will hit friendlies. The unfortunate part is if you kill, I think 3 friendlies, you get kicked.
That happens in Chivalry as well.
Right.
At least when I played it.
But it will warn you every time you hit a person, hey, don't kill him, you may get kicked, hey, blah, blah, blah. But it's like 3 or 4 kills. Because there are literally, at any point in time, possibly 50 people just swinging away.
Gotcha.
And you can hit your own teammates, which some people, like if me and you were fighting, if Nick's a new player, he would run in and go, ah, to kill you. And as I'm swinging, I kill him. I hit him in the back of the head and he dies. So the way it's different is it's very intuitive with the fighting style. Even if you're fighting 2 or 3 enemy people, you can still hold your ground. And it's probably the coolest, most awesome sensation ever. So if 2 people, if you guys are not...
I can think of something a little more, but...
What do you mean?
No, I'm just kidding.
Well, that's what I'm... I mean,
It's a
like,
joke.
if you 2 are coming at me and you're not communicating, and you both attack from, like, one direction, all it takes is a block in that direction. So there's 8 or 10 different varies of directions you can
Aren't there
attack
11
from.
angles of attack? Like karate
Maybe.
or something? Like really? That
Yeah,
sounds right.
kind
That
of,
sounds
yeah.
right.
So there's overhead, there's these 2, and these 2, and then there's stabbing. So 10. And stabbing is...
10. I don't know.
Stabbing, all you have to do is aim down, but the rest, if your arm is here to swing, essentially you click and you pull to the right, and your guy will bring his sword right here, and then you let go, and he will finish the swing. So, but there have been several times I've got 2 or 3 people coming up on me, and if I have a shield, all you have to do is turn your whole body. Even if you don't block with your sword, if you turn your whole body, he will instinctively block with a shield. So I've literally blocked and come back and hit a guy. So you get used to the movements and everything. And even if your shield gets destroyed, if you're coming, like if you're going to swing this way at me, all I know is to do this and it'll literally block it. And you can hold your guard there. So I can switch up my attack at the last second, and I'd have to switch my guard at the last second. So it's got a lot of different mouse movements on which way you're swinging and everything. A lot of people try to swing down, think they're going to get you, and all you got to do is just go down. You'll block almost instantly. But it's super... I don't know. We all went running in at one point, and there was literally 12 people because I had to count, because I had to stop and count and look at them with shields. They had formed a shield wall, and all of them were holding their
Phalanx.
weapons. Yeah. And as people ran up and smashed into it, literally they would bring their weapons down to kill a group, and then like take a step back and like reform, and then more people would run up, and they just slaughtered us.
That's ridiculous.
It was so cool.
Yeah, that is awesome.
You'd have people in the back with like, and if you hit them in the head, obviously an arrow is an instant kill. But I watched a guy get hit in the neck, and like, the arrow stuck out, and then immediately another arrow hit him like right here, and he died. He like fell down. It was like, oh, poor guy. Just, I would recommend it. Right now, it's only like $20, and for just all the screaming, and right now it's a little weird. It's a conquest type, so you have a neutral flag.
Okay.
You run up, you hit a button, and you start to capture it. And he does a specific animation. So if you see that animation on the other team, you run up and fucking kill him like as fast as you can, so he can't take it.
Yeah.
And a little progress bar at the very top will like load and load, and if you get it, then it will reset, and the enemy will stand there and essentially have a defend like a little defend notion. I can't remember. It's like essentially they start off with the flag automatically captured and their bar starts to progress. But if your team's really good, you get in and break them and you take it from them, and you there's no respawns on the second wave. But if you are really good and you end up killing a lot of them before they take all of it, and you take it back, it'll be a neutral victory, and there's a neutral round, and essentially you have to have 5 rounds to win. So a single game can take anywhere upwards to like 45 minutes to an hour. But at like every round, even those neutral rounds, like they will go on probably for about 15 minutes at most. So it does not take very long for them to achieve it. However, one of the ones where it's back and forth, it will take forever. It will take a very long time, which is awesome at the same time, because you will constantly have people respawning and respawning and respawning. But generally, when the enemy team or your team takes that flag, the chance of you breaking through if you don't communicate is very rare. Because now you've got people specifically, they will spread out. Like, it's just instinctive. Like you will in Halo, like if you're trying to defend your flag, you're not going to have 4 people in one spot. You're going to spread them out to try and capture them from every angle, and that's what always ends up happening. But the poleaxe is, for me, where it's at. I uppercutted a dude once. Like, I uppercutted him this way, and he happened to be, like, blocking the wrong way. And I just hit him in the head. His guy just fell down. Like, just
Can you, like,
completely
decapitate
ragdolled.
people and stuff?
I have not seen any decapitations, no.
Okay.
That's the one thing I'm waiting for. I want to be like, oh, just took out your leg.
But that's one thing I like about Chivalry is you can
Yeah.
You can
Yeah,
lop
it's so
off limbs
good.
like there's no
Yeah.
tomorrow. It's
So
great.
good.
Is there a
Yeah, well,
crossbow?
Yeah, so that's the other thing I forgot to mention. So you start off with those weapons. After you use them for so long, they progress into newer weapons. So I used the falchion to the point where I got a knight sword. So not only is it faster and have more reach, but it did like 5 more damage too. So the basic weapons, when you're fighting against people who have really good weapons, are difficult, but still not impossible. Because even if you have this, awesome badass weapon, if I can out counter you and everything, doesn't matter. I'll still hit you more.
Yeah, you did say this was in alpha right now,
Yeah.
so possibly decapitations could come
Yeah.
later on.
They're planning a lot. As far as I know, that's one of them. Like, not just decapitations, but like dismemberment, as well as cavalry, quite a few different things. It
Okay.
just kind of came out of nowhere, and I watched a bunch of videos on it. I would highly recommend it. It is
Please tell me there's at least
stupid
one
amounts of
video
fun.
from Rob as playing it, because that would just
Not
be
yet.
hilarious.
Not yet. I should be like, bro, get on the YouTube and leave a comment, and like his 100,000 comments, be like, play this game.
Right. So I did find, okay, so they're doing flying with Legion exactly like it was in Warlords of Draenor, which you have to get the what's called Broken Isles Pathfinder achievement. So you have to explore the 5 legendary questing zone or Legion questing zones, complete all the major storylines in the Broken Isles, complete 100 different world quests, complete all of the class order campaigns, and earn revered with all 6 Broken Isle factions.
How hard is it to get revered? Because a lot of them, if you do the raids, you get just shit tons of reputation.
Yeah. I don't know.
Plus, all the weapons, the way you can change the artifacts. Because, yeah, like, you have that one artifact for the rest of the game, is what they're saying. But you can change that single artifact has like 16 different variances.
Yes.
They can mix with color and everything.
Which is pretty cool.
They have
Nice, so you can customize it a little bit more then.
the warrior Fury gets two-handed weapons because he can wield two-handed weapons, and they are hysterical. They're currently like, if you put the sword on the ground and measured it next to Skylar's orc, the swords are taller. So he's this huge orc who just goes, and just starts whirlwinding all around the place.
That's awesome.
Pretty awesome.
How are we on time, Nick?
Bit over.
okay.
Yeah, we're over by about 20 minutes.
Okay. I just wanted to double check.
Anything else? I'm trying to think if there's anything else, like,
Yeah.
relative.
Wow.
Recent, yeah.
I want to play Kings of Men. I
Well,
like.
I really want to play that, and then I also want to play the beta, and then I also want to play WoW all at the same time, and this is a issue.
See, like
but
the cool thing about that game too is it's not that graphically intensive. It looks probably as good as Chivalry does, but
There's
there's
a lot more people.
so many people on screen. So
Yeah.
I get, even with that though, I think I get about 170 something frames. Like my computer's fine. I can't imagine what I'm saying is I don't think it's that extensive. I know Start Off as a mod too, which is kind of neat. Start Off a mod, I think, of Warband. It's just
And then it's just grown into its own.
100 people versus another 100 people just smashing into each other with swords and shields. And it's
Yeah.
just so satisfying.
Well, definitely, and that's one thing that kind of makes me interested in going back to Battlefield, like the idea that you can have 64 people
Yeah.
in one game,
Yeah.
or 32 in the other one, right?
Rush, yeah.
I mean, that just
That's still
that
plenty of
sounds
action.
awesome.
Yeah,
Yeah,
still.
that sounds awesome
Yeah.
to me. I like that we're building larger servers, getting more people involved, and then just allows for more variation. I feel like in
Yeah,
games.
because I mean, what the variation difference from like Call of Duty, where it's just basically like SEAL Team 6 versus SEAL Team 6, just like 6
yeah,
versus
yeah,
6.
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
there's gonna be more people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
People,
Yeah.
people
Like-
use that for like competitive, which
Yeah,
makes
absolutely.
sense.
But
But
like Siege, that makes sense.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
I
it's-
agree.
It's like it's not like a massive thing. It's like
And it's
we
more-
just need a few people,
Yeah.
take care of the situation kind of thing.
It's
not-
But that's what Rainbow
it's not
is for.
reflex based. It's tactical based.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I like that
agree.
idea.
Same. PlanetSide 2 was another game we should all play at some point, even though that's been out forever.
It's on PS4 now, though.
It is on
Yeah.
PS4 now. That's a good point.
But
Anything else? Add?
I think
I can't think so. I love how we ran over on time and we literally talked about Battlefield, Rainbow Six, Warcraft, and Kings of Men.
I feel like
Yeah, but
that's
4 really good games.
Yeah, yeah.
True, very true.
Like,
it's
But
ones
it's just,
that we're
but,
pretty
but I mean,
passionate about.
like you look at my notes from other episodes, and it's
And we,
like
like, go-
paragraphs
yeah.
of stuff, and then you look at this episode, and it's like, oh wow, we covered 4.
but a
really
lot
good-
of really good.
A lot of Battlefield, though. I mean, there's
True.
a lot. I
yeah.
could go on for another
So,
30
yeah,
minutes at
so could
least
I.
on Battlefield.
I
Like-
really need to play it.
like
Yeah,
a
how-
bomb, like every vehicle has its own different customization. So instead of a regular bomber with bombs, I unlocked a bomber that drops napalm essentially. And
Nice,
that is
nice.
hysterical because the numbers
done
just
that.
go crazy if you hit a group of people. It's just like it hits and it'll be like hit so and so, and then all of a sudden like it'll be like hit times 3, hit times 40, hit times 90, and it's just like dead. It's like
Yeah. How long is the beta going?
I read for 4 days, and today is the 4th day, so I don't know.
Is it really?
Oh, damn.
They started
Well,
it on
okay.
on a Wednesday.
Okay,
which
but
is
the weird thing about
weird.
that is they give you like a tag for participating in the beta, but it said you had to play it you had to be level 15 and you had to play for 4 days. So they make you play every day of the beta to get that tag.
That sounds weird.
It makes it sound like it's probably for a week.
I wonder if they'll extend it or not.
Yeah, I want. Well, is
I'm
that
a-
4 days including the early access or not? Because I had the day before it came out.
No, that was like it was said. Open beta is now available. Get it for the next 4 days. That's what I had read, and that's what I thought was weird because why would you end it on a Saturday? Why wouldn't you end it on?
Yeah.
Why would you not
Monday?
end it through like Sunday?
Yeah,
going to
Sunday,
Monday?
Monday,
Right.
yeah.
That'd be really
But it
stupid.
also started on a Tuesday for the early access people, and a Wednesday for everyone else. Like that's
well, if you
just
think
weird.
about it, most games come out on Tuesdays, unless you're Nintendo.
That's true. That's true.
True.
That's
valid.
But
It's a valid point.
Well, I know Call of Duty's beta is coming up in the beginning of next month too.
Oh, yeah.
We need to play Battlefield 1 though.
Yeah.
It's a lot of fun.
I need
Why don't
to.
you download it on PS4 then?
I will.
Okay.
Yay.
Assholes.
Yeah.
Assuming it doesn't end tonight. If it ends tonight, then I'm not gonna.
Well, true.
Yeah, true. I need
Hope
to
it doesn't.
look. I hope not.
Then
to.
I'm just gonna go home and play WoW. I want you guys to get a Kings of Men,
play WoW right
even
now.
if you have a shitty computer.
Yeah. Well, so. Well, we don't have to talk about this on podcast, but we'll end it and then we'll
All right,
talk
sounds
about
good.
yeah,
Yeah.
talk about my computer.
All right, so I guess till next time, I'm Nick,
Corey.
Drake.
Shannon.
and we'll see you later.
Peace.
Bye.